BagFuel, baby.
Everything off the pig. They smoked, they drank, and they lived a long time. And I got vegan friends that died in their 30s and 40s. So all that eat healthy shit don't matter sometimes. Genetics is
genetics is an MF. Yeah. And you got to work out. The problem with us black people, I feel like, we don't work out. They just the women just go on and get fat. The dudes just go on and get fat, and they be like, "Oh, I'm getting older. Right. I'm doing less," and they don't do anything no more. You know what I'm saying?
I have to agree with you.
And they have mad toxins inside their body that they 100%. Not sweating out.
Right.
They don't go to the sauna. They don't do nothing.
It's an art form to get rid of toxins too. Because you can think you're doing it the right way, but when you say sauna, even you had to learn how to be in a sauna differently. You learn new techniques.
Yeah, and you gotta wipe the sweat off every 10 minutes because if not, the sweat will go back inside your body. So you're sweating out the toxins, but sending them right back into your body.
100%. A lot of our people too, they don't get the results right away. We're people that like to get results right away.
Fast.
Yeah.
And it starts with it's really a fork. What you eating is I don't care how much you run and work out. If you're not eating right, it's gonna mess you up. The other thing is, I hate working out. Don't get it fucked up. I'm not a dude that I can't wait to get up and go work out. I don't lift weights.
But there is anything that you like to do. Like
I like to play my guitar.
We all like to do that, and you lose a lot of calories.
Guitar. Yeah. I like music. I like riding my bike through the park and stuff like that. I like playing with my kids.
Well, that's cardio. I mean, you just gotta find. You gotta find.
I like
what you like to do.
Abs, baby, in the room.
Yeah, missionary will get your abs right faster than anything else.
I like missionary. No, I know I'm old, but I'm keeping it a buck, man. I think that that's.
How many kids you got now?
10.
Is it true
and
that
possible? It's like spades.
Yeah, is it possible when you have 10, you don't gotta pay taxes no more?
I don't know about none of that, man.
No, they said that's not true.
I never listen, bro. One of the things that I never did was claim any of my kids on taxes.
Okay,
that's for
you let the baby moms get their better.
People never claim my daughter.
Here's the crazy thing: I've never been on child support ever in life.
How have you pulled off this miracle?
I got 6 baby mothers.
Well, mom didn't put me on child support. She took me to the court to put me on child support, and the lady said she told the judge everything I did. Oh, he pays for clothes, he pays for this, and the judge was like, "Well, if you put him on child support, he don't have to pay for none of that stuff at all.
Yeah,
I could just give her the money, and I ain't have to pay for volleyball. I didn't have to pay for soccer. Right. I didn't have to pay for clothes. So it's like if you got somebody that's really wanting to pay, like most us black fathers, and I can't speak for everybody, we be wanting to pay for.
Yeah.
Right. You know, especially when you're separated from your kid. If you're not in the house with your kid, you want your kid to know that you got their back financially as much as you can. You know 100%. What I'm saying?
No, but that's amazing.
Not for me, it wasn't financial reasons. It wasn't that I'm just doing so much. I was fortunate to have mothers that understand when he's up, he give you the world. Sharpe is back. When he's down, he's going to do music. He's going to be in the industry. It's going to be ups and turbulence. Going to be, and they don't wait till you down and kick you and go, you know what, I'm taking you to court. You're not doing. They know. They understand. Listen. And I was just fortunate.
I'm about to say you've been wild fortunate.
The mothers,
yes.
The mothers of my children, man, are all amazing. I cannot explain it. Well, even when I'm not speaking to them, or we going through it, or even I'm going through things, it's never been a situation. There's been situations with their boyfriends or their husbands going, you need to put that on child support.
Really?
Yeah, I had to do that to me before. But he was jealous. He was jealous
of what though, Gunz?
Me, they know I could spin the block in any given Sunday. What you mean? Why? I ain't gonna lie to you. Now,
this nigga not talking. Pour me some of that drink. I'm drinking with you today. I'm not drinking. I'm coming from working out. I walked up, and he was walking up at the same time.
I didn't. Hold on, let me be clear. I didn't spin the block.
No, but you have the ability.
Nigga, you spun the block already.
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah, there you go. Stop it. Don't come in here capping, bro.
No, maybe once or twice. I might have did that, but I stopped doing that.
No promo for them.
Because that's for no promo for them. And that's family. And that's family, man.
Thank you, man.
That's family. I love everybody. That's family. Cory moms wasn't really around early. She I love her to death. She had issues, and me and my mother and my family raised Cory. So starting out, 17, baby on the way. That's
y'all was young too.
High school dropout. Yeah, so
she was young too. Yeah,
I love you, Tracy. I love
she
you.
get a pass. Shout out to Tracy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tracy.
Yeah.
BagFuel.
Let's go back. We back, baby. We started talking before the cameras came on.
Nah, this is natural and organic. A lot of this convo we'll put in for like the new tier of subscribers. We'll decide how we roll it out. But Esso and Hynaken and
I love
Esso.
it, man. Family.
BagFuel, go to BagFuel.com. Cop his BagFuel baby sweatshirts.
Yes.
I'm
gonna get you one.
Cop my cookbook. I got my university merch. I just got the proofs. The university merch is going to.
The double B's you talking about?
I got you.
For my school.
Yeah.
I'm dropping my sex tape January 6th.
Oh, man.
Bag man. I'm going to have a paper bag on my head. Tim's on, nigga. Sex tape coming soon.
You know they got rappers doing that on the website.
I'm messing with you. My daughters would kill me.
Well, they gonna see it because right now we on YouTube going crazy with 115,000 subs, and we on Spotify. We got Spotify video. They showing our videos on Spotify. You heard?
Yeah, I think the most viral ever went was on y'all show.
Really?
Yeah, I went. I had people even out of Jay-Z camp hit me about the Jay-Z story. The shit went viral. So I've everywhere from
Didn't Dame call you too? Didn't Dame call you?
Dame called me and said that was me that said that.
Yo, Dame gonna make sure he get his credit.
He hit me up. He said that was me that said you was in that Honda. He said that was probably me. I was at,
but respect to that.
Yeah, but it was one of those, when you knew money, man, from where I come from, that Honda was the hottest shit on the planet. Yeah. But when you get around people that's getting it already, Jay and Dame and them.
It's a different level.
You that man. Yeah. You the man right now. You got the hot joint. What you doing in that? It was like that.
But that's the industry, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and people be like, I watch the comments. I see all you niggas in the comments talking crazy. But when you young, you do dumb shit. And people, you let another man shame you about your shit. It is what
they don't even see, but the problem with them is they don't understand that the music business really, when you get in it, whether niggas is with each other every day, it's a camaraderie going on too. Mm-hmm. So a lot of time when they bring it to your chest, it's because it's like, yo, bro, like not to tell you what to do,
right?
But sometimes people don't recognize the position that they're in. So niggas find themselves trying to put you up on game, like you the hot. Like, although you might not have been able to afford this, you gotta go get it. Why? Because you're a rapper and you're out here to entertain the people. Right. You're always doing that, even when you're not rapping. When you walk up with your clothes, when 100%. You drive up with your car, when you get out with your jewelry, that's the vibe that you're setting. So maybe Dame was like, "Yo, bro, you bigger than this vibe."
100%. And you also get people. Listen, I got close friends of people that'll call me and say, Pete, sometimes you don't know who you are. You just do everything. You know what I mean? Some shit you got to say no to, even if it hurt the person's feelings. You be on that
it might lower your value a little bit.
But being from where I'm from, man, the only way I know is if somebody trying to come up, try to help them, with my celebrity, whatever this little celebrity I got is, try to help. I'm not a dude that be like, nah, I'm too big for that. And people are like, you got to do that. Sometimes I can't do it. One time, Stevie J, he was walking in with the lights and the bells and the whistles, the bodyguard, all of the entourage. And he said, Gunz, it just makes you look bigger. It's not that I feel like a superstar. I'm that. It just makes you look bigger. But I just, me, I come dolo. I'm here dolo every time.
You got to pay a lot of money for that, too. That making you look bigger is marketing and promo. And it costs money for the bells and whistles and the bodyguard.
Of course, you bring people around you. It also you find yourself paying for everything. But here's a true story. Another Jay-Z. Jay-Z is another one. Those are the people. And I'm not saying I don't listen to people. The worst thing you could do is not listen to somebody because you feel like they smaller than you. My uncle was a drug addict. Shot dope. That was a nigga that had to come to school because my mother wasn't coming to school. Talk to my teachers. I'd be embarrassed. She do it on purpose. Just coming to school nodding. However, Billy White, smartest man you could ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
And one thing he used to tell me was, he used to give me advice, and I used to look at him like a drunk drug addict. He used to be like, Peter, ignore the source, but absorb the content. Ignore the source. So I listen to everybody. I don't do that. But there's certain people I really pay attention to. when we signed the Def Jam, Tommy Mottola walked us over to Jay-Z, because we signed to Tommy Mottola with Cory.
Yes.
Walked us over to Jay-Z, told Jay-Z, take over this because I think you could do a better job with it. Just give me an override. I literally walked with Tommy Mottola from his office in the streets, drinking, talking. He didn't want to put me on the scotch. And we went to Jay-Z's office, and we had L.A. Reid, Jay-Z, and everybody there. And we sat and we talked, and we did the deal there. And then I went to Jay-Z's office. We on Rockefeller now. And Guru is Cory's
engineer.
No. He was the engineer. That was the perks of it, but he was Cory's A&R.
A&R.
Wow. Okay.
So when I sat in Jay-Z's office, Jay-Z's across the desk from me, and he walked around and sat next to me. He was, I don't even feel right talking to you across the desk. Because I was like, yo, why can't we get a drop, to announce Cory is here and this and that. He was like, you got to earn that, Gunz. He said, you sat in the room, where's Cory Rockefeller chain? He's in debt. You want to celebrate? Because he had mad bottles of champagnes, congratulating for being the president, all of this stuff. And Cory said, he's in debt. He's $400,000 in debt. That's his budget. He didn't even sell a record yet. And you want to pop champagne and you want a chain. We don't celebrate, teach him right. Because it was just me and him. He took me in the room, teach him right. Don't celebrate debt, celebrate success.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
He told me, and that shit you got to pay attention to. Well, we celebrate debt. We just gave $400,000. He ain't sell one record.
And you know what's crazy,
you want
too?
a drop and a chain? Come on, man.
This is very tricky because, Esso is very big on wiping out debt. And then there's a debt that we got to wipe out for us as a group that he's taking care of.
Yeah.
And his gift to himself is he going to get rid of the braids when he wipes out the debt.
Cutting these shit off.
Yeah. So when you say we celebrate debt,
I was $82,000 in debt when me and my wife separated a year and 6 months ago.
Okay.
I'm 16 as of today. I'm $15,936 in debt in a year and a half.
And the only reason it's taking that long is what we pay everything out of costs, our flights,
and then
our
I
business.
pay for my mom's shit.
Yeah, he takes care of his mom's too.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, he would have wiped that out in 3 months.
Me and my dad take care of my mom. Not just me. Me and my dad.
Right.
Financially, help to take care of my mom.
That's great advice.
We're gonna stay in debt a little bit in this game. I'm not.
I pay my Gunz.
I'm a little down.
Gunz.
I'm not up. I'm not up right now.
A lot of us are.
Listen, I pay my bills off 2 times by myself.
Right.
And I pay my bills off 2 times while me and my wife was together.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So I know what it feels like. It's just that when I go back in debt, it's always for other people. It's never for me. I don't have to. I've been in the music business for 20-something years. What do we really have to buy except for a house to live in, a car to drive? You don't really gotta buy clothes if you don't want to. If you want to go super dookie fly with you gotta go buy that.
Yeah, but I don't buy nothing.
Yeah, but we're giving Nikes.
Shaq gave me this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cory gave me this.
We're giving Nikes. We're giving clothes. Back in the days, we were giving Timbs. Anywhere we want, custom, whatever. So I wasn't buying anything. I had no desire. Rockwilder, I did the deal for Yummy. Rockwilder gave me my first chain, the fucking charm. I still own it to this day.
Yeah.
I bought my own stuff, my own bracelets, my own watches.
Right.
So it's like, we don't have too much to buy for. I really feel like that the music business person that makes it is a victim of survivor's remorse on the highest level. It's bigger than the basketball players.
Survivors of what though?
Survivor's remorse of the hood.
I agree.
You done survived the hood.
I agree with
right? So now we're the that technically we're still in the hood. You know why 100%. The ball players can keep going? Because they rarely come back to the hood.
Right.
They're gone. They got schedules. Us in the music business, every Sunday I'm at Cheeky House watching football if I'm in town.
I gotta go back to the block.
There you go.
I'm always gotta go back to the block.
There you go. That's why this man says, somebody asked me to do something and I gotta go do it. Why? That's survivor's remorse. When I don't got no bills and other people, even when it was my wife, I wanted to please her too.
Yeah, that's true. But then, listen, there's times I had to turn back to the streets that helped me out as well. You know, the music wasn't popping, things wasn't down. I go back to the streets. You know, here, Guns.
A lot.
You know, like vice versa. So sometimes you turn your back on them, and you can't go back to them either. And it's still outside figuring it out.
Guns. What you about to say? What you about to say?
No, when he was saying about survivor's remorse, yeah, that definitely does exist. And about buying things, any jewelry I ever owned, Shaq gave me. I never bought. I never like wearing jewelry. So whenever you see me, this is Shaq gave it to me. My Rolexes, Shaq gave me. And you know, that's my guy, man.
Can I ask you an honest question? Because you my bro.
Yeah.
What the happened with you and Shaq? What's the real story? Because y'all, when I was just getting in the game, you saw Shaq and you saw Gunz.
Yeah.
At all times, whether y'all was making music or not. What the fuck happened?
What you mean? We still that.
I mean, but I don't see y'all together as much, and you off doing your thing, kind of. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not saying nothing bad happened, but I'm saying you off really doing your thing, and I'm gonna keep it real, okay? Because I know about my money.
Go for it.
Shaq is a fucking mega fucking millionaire. I wouldn't have been worried about rapping. I wouldn't have been worried about nothing.
Right.
I would have got in with one of them business deals, or I would have been a part of. I would refine myself and say, yo, this is the money maker. It ain't too many there's going to be pause as big as Shaq's stature.
Right.
With the money he's making.
Okay.
With the businesses that he got. Right? Why would I go off, and I'm keeping it real, why would I go off and do my own thing? My ideas is coming to Shaq, and I'm getting money with him.
Well, so what you do in that situation, right? Imagine if you have multiple kids, multiple siblings, multiple families, cousins, uncles, dudes, and you grew up with that you knew way before Peter Gunz and all that. And everybody's leaning on you. Every time your phone rings, you need something.
They always calling for help.
I've been times around them. I'm sorry, Shaquille, if I'm putting this out there, but it's been times I've been around them and everybody. There was a time I was with Shaq and I was trying to fix my mouth to tell me I needed something fucked up. And we was on a private jet coming from LA to Orlando. And I'm sitting there trying to pump myself up because I don't like asking for nothing. Nobody. I like to figure it out.
Fact.
Yo, that's real.
And by the time I built up the confidence, I listened to him tell at least 5 to 10 people, okay, I got you. Just sit tight. I'm sending that. I couldn't do it. So what I realized from being around him is if you figure shit out on your own without asking for something, you'll be around. If you that nigga that's always calling, asking for something, and eventually, to answer your question, if there comes a time where yo, it's the end, I can't figure it out on my own, big, I need you. Guess what? I know he got me. Until then, I'm gonna try to figure my own shit out and not ride. Shaq, I need a Papa John's, man. I need it. You think everybody ain't asking this nigga that?
He's asking him for a Papa John's.
Yo, let me franchise a Papa. Yo, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
I got a better thing for you.
What's up?
Every phone call I get for a business opportunity,
they ask Shaq to be involved.
It's for Shaq. So I take these meetings and they be like, yo, so if you throw this at Shaq. So I don't even take the meeting. I ask niggas out the gate. If you asking me to ask Shaquille or you trying to do this with me?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Certain things I'll get a cosign. Certain things if I feel I walk into them. There's a few things I pitched at him to do for close friends of mine.
Yeah.
And he fell through and it made me look bad. So I don't cosign shit for Shaq no more.
Yeah,
It made me look bad.
Yeah.
But everybody need a favor from Shaquille. So I try to do this shit on my own and whatever I could get from him to help me push forward. Or if I do something, say, yo, big, walk this in the door for me and you eat. Anything asking him for shit, everybody asking is for shit, that's winning. If you look at any celebrity that's popping, what's that record Kanye West did on his last album?
I wouldn't know. I don't listen to none of
Not
Kanye
this last
new
album.
shit.
I know, man. It's old.
I don't give a fuck if it go 3 albums back. I ain't listening to none of that.
No, I can't. I'm not on that tip anymore. But he said something about his wife saying, yo, if you keep giving the money away to everybody at this, you're going to go broke. And there was a time where I know Shaquille's agent told him at this rate, you could be broke by this year. And he switched up the flow, and now he on his way to $1 billion if he ain't there yet. And there'll come a time, listen, Shaq came to visit my mom's in the Bronx when I first met him. When we first met,
I'm about to ask,
there
how
was
did
no
y'all meet?
Uptown Baby.
How did y'all meet?
What year was
Lord
that?
Tariq signed a deal with Interscope Records.
Yeah.
Lord Tariq is my sister's boyfriend. at the time.
I ain't know Tariq was your sister boy. Shout
my
out to Tariq,
sister came
my
and said, my boyfriend rap. He nice. He want to be
That's
down
how y'all
with
got together through your sister?
I was in a group called Gun Runners. And he rap and he nice. And I was like, we already got 7 niggas. We was Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang. It was 7 niggas and we was just trying to get on and then do our solo thing. I said, I don't know, but I heard the nigga and I said, wait a minute. This nigga nice. But then I heard he was already in a group called Money Boss Players.
Oh, Money Boss Players.
But he could still rock with us and rock with them. And and Money Boss shout out to Minnesota. Rest in peace, Big Eye and whole Money Boss. Anyway,
y'all Bronx nigga, what's that? Castle Hill section? Soundview, Castle Hill.
People always associate me with Soundview. I'm from 174.
Castle Hill section.
I'm from 174. All right, so
Vice Avenue, right? Vice Avenue.
Vice, born and raised.
My sisters lived on Vice Avenue until they moved to Queens. Them and my mother before my mother met my father, and then they moved to Parkchester and then Queens.
Home base.
All right, go on.
So Shaq, Tariq signed in the scope. Well, let's go back. My sister boyfriend rap, put him down with the crew. Me and him became like brothers, brother-in-law. I mean, to this day, him and my sister got 2 kids.
Wow.
2 grandkids. You know what I mean? They together. They
married.
Really,
They still together?
They married. Yeah. They
wow. Damn, Tariq, you locked in.
20-some-odd years.
It's something about your family.
It's something about them pinkies.
Yo, it's something about your family, yo. I
love them pinkies. They be locking motherfuckers in.
So Tariq gets signed to Interscope, and Interscope signed Shaq. And they gave him a label deal.
Yeah.
So Tariq is out there in Orlando working with Shaq, helping him write stuff, putting stuff together, getting artists for him. Frank, shout out to Frank, Hassan, Sonny. Shout out to everybody except Kevin Mitchell. Fuck you. Anyway, long story short.
Still be okay. Go on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Tell the story. He's out there with Shaq in Orlando, right?
Orlando, and then Tariq is a street. He writes street shit. He write, he not with the. He's a street dude. He's from Soundview. He write that gutter, that Bronx. Tariq to this day is still. When they ask you who you like, when they do the rap, your favorite rapper, he's still my favorite rapper. He's got the voice. He got everything about him.
He had the flow. He
got the nigga is
the nigga was nice.
Tariq is that, bro. But when I say my favorite rappers, I don't be biased and name Tariq or my son and nobody. I keep it real. But if in reality, I was inspired by Lord. But anyway, Shaq told Tariq told my brother Peter would be the best for this. Because, at that time, I was Pete Lover. I was writing the smooth. I was writing the happy pop shit. I'm playing instruments. So I get out there, and me and Shaq immediately click like brothers. I don't know what happened.
That's how y'all
He could love me to death. And he was, I went out there on, I had a gun charge. I wasn't supposed to leave New York. My PO said, if you leave, I'm locking you up when you come back. I left for a month, nigga. Shaq moved, you ain't going nowhere. We'll figure that out when you go back. I came back, I clack, and sent, and he wrote letters and got me straight. Went back out there. But Shaq flew to New York, and he was playing. Orlando was playing the Knicks, and he was like, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm on my block." He said, "I'm pulling up." I said, "You get the fuck out of here." He pulls up on 174 Vice Avenue. Everybody going crazy. So he said,
"What year is this?"
He said, "Huh?
What year is this?"
Like 95? Oh,
97.
Okay.
And he said, where you live at? I said, up there. He said, your mom's home? I'm like, yeah. Take him upstairs. My mom, everybody embarrassed. Crib look crazy. Shaq walk in. She's like, Peter. So the next thing you know, he leaves. He said, yo, fly to Orlando tomorrow. Book me a flight. I fly out. We at the crib. So we drive out of his crib, walk around. We looking at all these big houses and shit and this and that. He stopped by this house. He said, what you think about that house right there? I said, that shit crazy. He said, I just bought that for your mother.
Well,
get the fuck out of here.
I said, what you mean? He said, man, she can't live there. She can't live where they. What you showed me, she can't live there no more, my nigga. You can't live there either. That's crazy. That's your house, man. It's for your moms. And that's why I tell niggas. And even when he called my mother didn't want to leave the block. She was like, I'm not leaving the block. I'm not doing it. I said, Ma, this house is beautiful. She was like, my doctors, my friends, I'm old, I'm going to die here. That's where she was with it. But Shaq bought that house for her, man. And that's why I tell people, there's nothing you can really tell me about the big fella, man. That's my nigga. And that's just in a few months of knowing. That's not where we are now. You know what I mean? And again, there's going to come a time where I'm going to be like, all right, big, I need to do this, I need to do that. But until then, I'm going to try to figure it out myself and not be another nigga trying to ride on a nigga wave. Unless I can help. It's okay if you can help bring something to the table. So if I come and I can add on where it helps him and it helps me, all day. But being another nigga like this, it's just not in my DNA.
I'll let you go.
I think right now, a lot of older gentlemen in hip hop are being, famous for being great storytellers, and you're one of them. And your stories hit a little bit different, like how articulate you are about it, your recall, the details, and this is why whenever you sit down on these platforms and you tell your perspective, it's up there. I know Fat Joe and them get a lot of credit, but you're up there.
Yeah.
When it comes to reliving this hip hop lifestyle, and even the little tidbits you just gave, these are movies.
Oh yeah,
right
100%. Listen,
television shows.
The thing about it is I take a lie detector test. I'll have anybody come and challenge me on anything I tell you.
Niggas ain't never called you
Nobody
liar.
never called you a liar.
Nah, but niggas be telling some crazy shit.
Oh, well, yeah, because this camera is saucy.
I'm definitely not the nigga that's going to do that. And that's why I don't have no, and some people be like, Gunz, you got to stop letting niggas know your situations and this. And I'm never going to be
I don't give a fuck about it. It's my real situation because niggas know what we going through.
Yeah.
So when you go up there fronting, the people who respect you don't understand the camera. And don't understand why is Gunz, why is Rand acting. I tell people though, this is what I go through. This is the ups and downs of the music business. I got it when I got it, this and this and that. But they don't understand the bravery that it takes to just say and do that. So they'll look at us and be like, oh, you saying too much. Bro, one thing you not gonna do with this camera, with niggas like me and you ain't gonna come at me off the camera and blow me up about nothing.
Nah, never.
We not doing that.
I've been famous pawning jewelry and instruments to feed my kids because I went asking nigga for that.
I pawn chains.
Yeah,
nigga.
I've been, but I mean,
nigga, I done pawn chains.
Niggas actually,
I done sold jerseys. Nigga, what are you talking about?
No, I've actually walked in and niggas be like, like Peter Gunz, really? Yeah, nigga, really. Kid, because I'm not gonna be a nigga that one of my kids asked me for something and I can't do it.
Was there any truth to that rumor you was doing Ubers or some shit like that?
No, nigga. Who said that? You making that up?
I got two Shaq questions.
Oh, no. That's a true story. I got the story. I know where it started at.
Okay.
You did drive an Uber.
No, nigga. Type of niggas you. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me not job shame no Uber driver.
Nah,
if I had to do it, if I had to do it to feed mine.
They make guap, yo.
No, they don't. I just didn't do it. No, nigga.
They make money.
No, the fuck they don't.
No. I said not guap. I said they make money.
I don't know, man, nigga.
See, 70,000. He's a music business nigga. Wait.
No, I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
$70,000 or $80,000 to a music business nigga is trash.
It's not what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I talked to an Uber driver nigga. Yeah. He told me it's not worth it. But between the tolls, congestion pricing, and all that,
it's
really
now.
not worth it. The amount of hours. So to me, right, the amount of time you put in driving Ubers, I would put that time into trying to figure out another hustle. From what he was telling me. There's got to be another way to make more money than you making doing that, waking up 4 a.m. trying to beat other niggas to the thing. But it's not the job shame.
I did that. I lived that life, so I get it. Man.
The Uber story.
Yeah.
I'm in Midtown. I run into DL Hughley, who's my man. Him and his boy walking. Yo, where you going? I'm going to Soho to my crib. He owns an apartment forever.
Yeah, in Soho with that big ass dog.
So the nigga said, nigga, give me a ride. And jumps in the car. He said, let's take a pic. Takes a pic and posts. Look who my Uber driver was today.
So
the shit went viral. I called that. I said, yo, DL, he's
crying.
Tears. I said, yo, DL, I'm all over the fucking shade room. I'm an Uber driver. He said, got you, nigga.
Yo, yeah. DL,
that's my man. Shout out to DL. I love you, man.
Esso had developed a friendship with Alex Thomas. So Alex did a set
my man too.
At a DL Hughley's nightclub in Santa Monica,
LA,
right?
Yeah, California.
Yeah, so we just sitting, we chilling, and it's nothing but like married couples sitting in the front. Out of the 3, he caused 2 divorces, DL Hughley.
DL's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem.
He's way funnier I'm gonna tell y'all, he's way funnier in stand up when there's no holds barred. That TV where he can't be himself,
it's different.
DL is a funny. He's
in
funny.
Person.
That's what I'm saying. We saw him do the stand up. It was crazy.
Just a conversation with him is just hilarious.
But before we go too far left, I got 2 Shaq questions. Okay. One is, what makes Shaq so special?
Personality. He has a bubbly personality that I've never seen before. Talent. He's talented. In basketball, you can say what you want, the way he moved. People just say, oh, it was his size. He was a bully.
No. Orlando, especially Orlando.
He's my favorite center ever. He's top 5 for me.
Yeah. And just, he's generous.
Is it because they always make us seem like he cheap?
Nah, he's extreme.
I never heard of that.
People act like, people make it seem like he's cheap because he's been the type that's other people, not Peter Gunz. I'm saying other people, Fugu, how I feel like that they paint it.
I've heard mad stories.
Let me just say how I feel like that they paint it. How I feel like they paint it. Yeah. They always put the story out about him and his kids, how he got to earn the shit and he's not buying them nothing extravagant and all that.
You believe that?
No. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that I believe nothing. I'm saying the picture that they paint.
Because
that's what I'm saying. And then they talk about when he was young and he bought one bottle at the club and stuff. They used to paint pictures. Let me say this.
He was reckless when he was younger.
Yeah. I heard John Sally came to him and it's like, how much do you need? He said 70.
Yeah.
Gave him 70 racks right there to start up a business. And he's like, yo, Shaq, it's doing so well. Let me give the money back. He's like, I'm good. He said, this next business I have, I've already allocated Shaq's percentile. He's an investor already. Right. I've heard him go and buy people cars. I've heard way too many stories.
He's done so much, he just doesn't publicly say it. Some people don't want to be out there with that. But I would tell you this. I will tell you this. He has gotten frugal. And you have to.
To survive,
because anybody could go broke.
Yo.
If you he's done it. There was a time anybody could call him for something. There was a time everybody's on a payroll. You got to wake up and realize, my nigga, you know what I mean?
What about his mean streak? And I wouldn't say a victim, but we had interviewed LeVar Ball, and LeVar and Shaq have that rivalry.
Yeah.
And he had questioned Shaq's finances. And Shaq jumped in my DMs and he showed me his portfolio. He's like, yo, I'm
Shaq, bro, let me tell y'all something,
hold up.
Shaq is very in touch with the streets.
Oh, he is very. He
very in touch with the streets. Very in touch with a lot of street dudes in the Bronx that I'm cool with. In LA, he's very in touch with the streets.
Yeah, he tapped in.
He's tapped into everything that goes on. Wow. I'm going to get a call about this interview, 100%. He's very tight. He pays attention, but he does. Listen, there's a line. I don't care who you are. There's a certain line that you ain't gonna let niggas to play with your name.
But that streak showed me why he won 4 chips, though.
Yeah,
you know, like I didn't look at it like, yo, I felt the way. I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
As lovable as he is, this is why he has 4 rings and he won an MVP. You need that little bit of nastiness.
Yeah, he got it. Listen, everybody has their fucking day.
I got one last Shaq question.
Got it.
Nigga, people said that he was trying to get information on Shannon Sharpe. You believe your man would do some shit like that?
Yeah. Sorry, big fella. He didn't tell me
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I said, I'm asking Gunz the real shit. Let me tell you, bro. I don't know nothing about that. He never told me that. But me knowing my man, if somebody play with him, he gonna try to dick your word. This is what we doing. Okay, let's go.
It's game time.
But
this why he an NBA champ, yo.
But I'm not. I don't know that for a fact. So I don't want to put that on the record.
No, you didn't put that. No,
that's some shit he'll do. Yeah, he's fucking probably try to dig it. But that ain't got nothing to do with what happened. I don't believe that got nothing to do with what happened.
They said it was later on, but you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nigga. I do that shit. I'm a nigga that.
That's why y'all got along.
I'm super petty.
That's why y'all get along. That's why y'all get along.
Listen, I got 6 baby mothers, right? So because people know who I am, you'll have a dirt bag nigga that might have messed with one of my baby mothers, be like, yo, I fuck Peter Gunz baby mother. Right?
I hate that shit.
Niggas live for that shit.
Niggas, yo.
But you know what I go?
Why the black
now I'm gonna try to knock your daughter, your mother, everybody. I'ma fuck your moms, nigga.
Yo,
So
let me shake
I'm
your hand.
petty like
Yeah,
Shaq.
me too.
Oh, you want to play that game?
Yeah, I'm going for your mom.
Because I look good enough for your daughter and your mom to be attracted to. I might even take your grandmother because me and her might be of age.
Yo,
I'm disgusting, dirty Bronx
there's some
nigga.
fly grannies out there, Gunz.
Listen, and
There's some fly grannies
I don't
out
discriminate. I fuck a pig if it wouldn't squeal.
there. Yo,
Nah,
you know
I'm
what
just
you
playing.
remind me
Why I
of?
can't play, man? Y'all niggas change.
No, because I used to work at Greyhound. One of my old co-workers, he was an older dude. I think he fucked a sheep in the islands.
That's disgusting. That was a joke. God damn.
Yeah, but you mentioned
That sound crazy.
yeah, and then niggas asked him what it felt like. He's like,
Listen, I'm at a different
Niggas
stage.
asked him what it felt like.
He said it
I
felt like a
walked
woman's
out the
pussy.
way, bro.
I'm at a different
Bro,
stage
you fucking
in life.
sheep. I don't even
Nah,
need to
that
talk to
shit
you,
was
bro.
disgusting.
Like, you're not even. You shouldn't even be around me if you fucking sheep.
yeah, that's exactly the side. Yo, what the nigga said? That's how he got caught.
That's disgusting.
He said the nigga that owned the farm.
He should be put to death.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling Peter. It's Peter for Peter.
Peter for Peter.
Serious, I'm doing this photo shoot for Peter. Shout out to
What
Peter.
about what's going on, and how you feel about what's going on with Puffy?
Yeah, you got any
Do
stories?
you think it's fair? First of all, before you go into stories, is it fair in your mind?
Well, I want to start by saying I think it's absolutely disgusting, man. Just
In what aspect?
The abuse,
Yeah.
physical hitting any women. I got a thing with women. Like, yo, bro, I got a pet peeve with people hitting women and kids, and that part of it is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
The freak offs and all that shit. That's not my cup of tea. Letting another nigga moisten your nipples with his. Your girl moisten your nipples with another nigga splooge is crazy.
That was the wildest thing that I heard.
That shit is sick.
Yo, hold on.
Okay,
Did you
go
hear the
ahead.
other part that he was wearing the Dubai turban so niggas couldn't recognize?
Butt naked under the fucking garb, niggas.
Listen, but
Type
listen.
of
We
niggas
not.
he-
Wait. Hold on.
what
Guns.
Hold on, nigga.
Guns.
Hold on, let's finish with the nasty
Guns.
shit.
Let me no.
Before we go into
Okay,
this
go
other
ahead,
side. All right,
Guns.
go.
No. You've been in the business as long as I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A lot of the stuff that they done said about Puffy is what normal music business do. They watch their girl fuck.
Nah.
They good niggas and watch their girl
I don't know
have
niggas
sex.
that do that. Maybe I wasn't privy to get to that level.
It might not be their girl,
That
but
shit,
it's one
I
of
never
their
heard no
pieces.
shit like that.
It's when niggas and watch their pieces
gotta-
have
hold on.
sex.
No, when you
Niggas
say-
that have
hold on,
wild
time out.
menazes.
You gotta clarify different. When you say girl, niggas is thinking girlfriend.
Nah, time out.
No,
I
not
wanna
a
be clear
girlfriend.
with y'all.
One of their hoes.
Jump off.
Niggas in the music.
Hold the fuck up. Time out.
Niggas in the music business got 20 hoes. Stop.
Time out, man.
We
What's
used
up,
to,
yo,
man, time out.
allegedly
Hold
used
on.
to.
Oh, he called you by your real name.
Nah,
Yeah,
nigga,
go-
because you
go
going.
on.
Because you get me upset with this shit.
Go on. The truth.
Ain't no nigga could ever tell me, yeah, I let a nigga fuck my side girl, my first girl, my girl. I can't have that kind of conversation. If
You a
that type
lover.
of-
You a lover.
What you mean?
You love your bitches. You love your bitches.
I
then.
can't watch another nigga dick.
You
Start
love
there,
your
nigga. I'm
You
the
watched
only dick in the
pornos
room,
before?
nigga. What you
seen
mean?
pornos before, right? Do you watch pornos?
No, nigga, I don't watch porno.
Oh, this nigga.
Now
wow.
you don't believe me, right?
This nigga.
See,
I
now,
believe
I'm
you.
about to tell y'all some
I
shit.
believe
Hold on, let me
you,
say,
Gunz.
let
Nigga
me jump in.
what's the
I
name?
believe
Say
you,
it. Hold on.
Gunz.
I'm
Y'all
about
known
to
each
tell
other a
y'all
lot of years. This is beyond.
This
like,
on
over 20 years, I know this nigga.
my mother just died. It's on her. I don't jerk off and I don't watch porno flicks. I don't have to, never had to. And this gonna go viral, and all y'all niggas fuck you and your mother in the comments. I don't do that, my nigga. I just don't do it. It's not my thing. I don't like.
You
to
like
see
Deion Sanders.
I don't want to see another nigga dick. I have no desire
Nobody
to
wants
see
to
that.
see another. Nobody's
So why
looking
would I bring
and seeing
another nigga in the room
when
to
niggas
fuck
is
my
watching
girl?
porn, they're not watching porn to look at another nigga dick.
But you are though.
No, you're not, Guns. No, you're not.
So you don't see that nigga dick when you watching the porn?
You're not looking at the nigga dick.
I just
You're
don't want to
looking
see
at the
another.
female.
I'm not into that. So, all right, let's start there. But I get the porn
Okay,
thing.
go ahead. I'm
Some
just saying-
niggas gotta
I'm talking
do
about
that.
what music business niggas
Some
do.
niggas do that. I can't do it.
Okay, but we're not talking about
I
what
never
Guns
heard.
do.
I never heard a man never sat in a room with me and told me he brought another nigga in the room and fuck his girl. I've never heard that in my life.
I've never brought another nigga in the room to fuck my girl neither, okay?
Right.
But we have been on trips per se. I'm not gonna say the country.
And y'all was banging out in the same room.
Come on, yes.
That's
I'm not
different.
gonna say the
That's
country.
different.
All
That's
right, there
different.
you go. Guns.
No, you said you said you brought a nigga in to fuck your girl.
No.
You over there banging something, your man banging something.
I just said, Gunz, I never brought a man in to fuck my girl. I said that. Yeah. But when I said that,
classic,
you banging something over there, he banging something over there.
And we could switch.
Nah, you trying to mix the two up, man. We're talking about weird and regular.
It's different. No, we're talking
about. If I got my joint, you got your joint, you over there, I'm over there.
We're talking about different situations that occur. People in the music business, in the entertainment world, I'm going to say this. We live a different lifestyle. And I'm going to throw Puffy out the lifestyle. Your lifestyle is a music business lifestyle. 6 baby mamas, 10 kids, on camera, getting money,
on television,
getting money, still the dude, outside,
fucking
older,
young girls,
still
older
outside
girls.
talking about you
That's
on
not
camera.
regular nigga shit.
I'm gonna fuck your moms, I'm gonna fuck your grandmas.
Shaq bought your mom's a house?
Come on, nigga.
That's unbelievable.
You saying shit.
Listen what I'm trying to say.
That niggas is gonna look at this camera and be like, let me say this,
Go ahead,
Gunz.
say it, nigga.
You saying shit that's shocking niggas on this camera, but you know who is not shocking? Me. Because I know music business niggas.
Yeah.
I know niggas that'll fuck your moms, that'll fuck your girl, fuck your daughter, and then tell you. And do it systematically because they got the money.
You get paid.
We get petty. We know about that. But niggas, let me lower my voice, but people watching the camera that have never lived the lifestyle that we live can't even really imagine what you're saying. And they might think, oh, he's exaggerating. No, he's not.
He keeping it calm.
No,
I'm not exaggerating.
This is what I would tell you. This is a true story. What you saying is 1,000%. I'm not.
Okay.
These men exist. They are that. I'm saying I wasn't privy to those kind of conversations. Either they knew better or I wasn't famous enough to make it into those kind of rooms. Mm-hmm. I've never experienced that or never had a conversation with another man about that. And from a child, from a very kid, I started, look, older women started fucking with me from I was 7, 8 years old. I was already active. Yeah, I'm probably guilty of at 13 or 14 of telling my 13, 14-year-old girl we got to go there when she ain't ready. I'm probably guilty of that because I've been abused. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes people ignore what the fuck this nigga might have been through. It just paint niggas as a monster and said it's what the fuck happened in his past that he's like this. So and that's not me making excuses. He
said Puffy could have been abused.
I don't know.
What I'm saying,
it's no excuse. I'm not making no excuses.
When did you realize that? Because as men, especially in the urban community, we have to get it done fast. That's a proof of manhood. That's proof of you being that dude.
What do you mean, lose your virginity?
Yes, you got to do it. So the fact that you're having older women in the hood, that's like my man Gunz been getting to it.
He said 7 or 8 years
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying.
No, that was sexual fucking abuse.
Yeah, but at that time we would have never recognized that.
No, when was the man?
I was just happy it was women. That's why.
No, of course, clearly. But when did you realize that was wrong? Yes.
And when I started, I went to when I did Love and Hip Hop. And people made you start.
It took you that long?
Yeah, people started making you examine your past.
What?
Yeah, as a grown old ass nigga, somebody was like, "Yo, what happened to you when you was younger?" I was at a therapist it was on marriage boot camp, and the lady said, "Did anything ever happen to you when you was a kid?" And we started talking, and she dug deep, and then she found it, and I was like, "Oh shit, mate," because I was always in denial. I never wanted to blame my parents or nothing for anything in life. I was like, as a person. And I want to clarify something because I want people to say I'm trying to spin this shit off. People like Puff got the God syndrome. And what I mean by that, you can't tell these niggas something. They feel like they can't get in trouble. They could do whatever they want. Fuck that, I'm that, and this and that. And sometimes you lose touch, and then shit like this happen, you realize you ain't who you thought you was. I think the nigga had the God syndrome. I could do whatever I want. Hit, abuse, do whatever I want. I think what he did is utterly disgusting. I just feel like I still don't see racketeering and all the shit that
trafficking. No Rico racketeering.
I don't see none of that stuff.
I'm gonna keep it real.
Is he abusive? Is he abusive? Absolutely. Is he a freak? I thought I was until I saw this shit. I
thought I was a freak too until I saw it. I'm not gonna care.
I wait for them to show me the Rico this, the Rico that, and if sex trafficking, flying people in to have sex,
but
lock
can I ask
me
you
up
a question? How do we know he's a big abuser? Because we saw that happen with Cassie one time. People don't make mistakes.
Well, multiple times there's that he's put hands on it. They said they saw and they got videos of it or whatever. Then there's accounts of him and his exes. I'm not saying none of that is the case. Look, here we go. Ed Woods is my manager and my son's manager. Shout out to Ed Woods, rest in peace. He's managing me, Cassie.
Yeah, Cassie.
Ed Woods. Ed Woods and Ryan Leslie's is our lawyer. Before Cory got signed, we in Ryan's house in Harlem. Cassie, Ryan is there working on Cory's project. We all became real tight. We this little clique. And we go on the road with Ryan sometime. We go do music with them. We around them. Boom. Ryan gets a little action. Cory, we all signed to Casablanca, Tommy Mottola's label, which I told y'all, Tommy Mottola walked Cory over to Jay-Z because he couldn't do it. So I'm going to do a collaboration with Jay-Z. But before that, we all together. That's how I met Rich Dollars via Ed Woods and Cassie and Ryan and everybody. We all became family. Next thing you know, Cassie is she's seeing Puff, which I know Ryan is heartbroken, and that's my man. You know, and Ryan is the smartest, most talented dude I ever met personally in my life.
He expressed that to you, like
nah.
Brother? Okay,
you can see it.
You can see it, all right.
You can see it. I consider Ryan a friend, so I could see he was a little hurt. Fast forward, she's gone. We still working with Ryan a little bit. Cory ends up signing Young Money. We leave Def Jam. That's another story. I had to meet Jay-Z outside of Def Jam. I'll tell you that story. Remind me of the story.
Yeah,
I'll tell you how I got Cory off Def Jam. But shout out to Jay-Z and Jay Brown. Anyway, long story. Ed Woods called me and said, Puff, because 6 foot, 7 foot with Young Money is blowing up, Puff want to do a publishing deal with Cory. He wants to fly you and Cory out. It's Grammy week. Put you in a hotel and take a meeting with him to do a publishing deal with Cory. So I go sit with Cory and I'm like, Cory, you know, Puff want to do a publishing deal with you. He said, well, Wayne and Baby already offered me a publishing deal. That'd be wrong. Nah, we gonna take this flight. It's a free hotel. We gonna walk that red carpet.
So Bronx.
Mingle, nigga. This some Bronx shit.
Yeah, nigga. A Brooklyn nigga, I did it. I would have did that.
We get out there. Wayne is shooting a video with Baby and them on in this factory kind of shit, and then we go have the meeting with Puff in his trailer.
Yeah.
Puff got a trailer over there. We walk in the trailer. Playboy, what up, player? Guns, you know, with me and him kicking it. This ain't the last time I saw him, but this was the last meeting we had. And Cassie's there. And he's sitting there and she's brushing his hair. He's talking to us. And Cassie is embracing me and Cory because we know her.
Yes.
From Next Election from being on road.
Yeah. He ain't like that.
No. He was that. He knew it was family's all up. Okay. His main objective was, let's do this publishing deal. And this publishing deal comes with perks and, you know, it's a rock. And nigga, you be down with the team. And Cory, you know, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The nigga had me saying,
you was ready to sign.
Say what y'all want about this nigga. Yeah, this nigga could make you sign.
Thank you, bro.
Because the nigga, let me tell you something.
Guns.
He was glowing, looking like $1 million. Yeah. Cassie looking beautiful. I'm even sitting there feeling a little.
The ambiance is just there.
But I'm feeling a little guilty because RLS is my man, and I'm sitting here. But you know, So we leave, and Cory said, "Dad, I can't do that to Wayne and them." I said, "Obviously, we can't do that, but nigga, that sounds real good."
Guess what that means? Cory Gunz, your son might have saved you out of testifying on a RICO trial.
No,
yo,
nigga,
bro, Kid Cudi's testifying right now.
Kid Cudi was smashing.
Yeah,
I mean, Kid Cudi was smashing and allegedly got his car blown up.
And nigga, I'm not testifying, yo, for nothing.
Oh, you would have been on the run?
Run.
I plead the fifth. I'm not
testifying against nobody about that shit, bro. Especially this street
shit.
That
shit is too wild.
It's not even on no street shit. It's just like, fuck out of here, bro.
It's like this happens within a community to me.
And this is nothing bad, but I will tell you, the moral of the story is Cassie looked happy and wonderful. Puff looked good, and it just goes to show you can't ever judge what's on the surface and what was going on behind the scenes. You never would have had me think that she was doing all that kind of, going through that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit.
Being abused like that behind the scenes, I didn't see it.
I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit, Guns.
Yeah.
I discovered Cassie.
Uh-oh.
I did, and I sent her home, and that's when Ryan Leslie met her. Me. David Lassiter was a model, and he bought Cassie when me and Rock had Yummy, and we had the music part. And he bought Cassie. Cassie told Puffy this to his face in Vegas, and he was like, you know, me and Puffy was cool, like cool for a minute. You know what I'm saying? She's like, when did Randy discover you? She was like, Randy discovered me. And because she was 16, turning 17, and you know, we was wilding. I ain't going front like.
Hold on. What you trying to say?
No, I'm talking about me and Rob.
You had some baby oil and all that?
No baby oil. I'm talking about niggas back then was popping partying real
the
hard,
lifestyle, right?
smoking weed. I'm 23
She's
years
17
old.
and
She's 16.
And what happened?
I sent her home.
Okay.
I sent her home. I said, yo, when you turn...
You thought about it, though?
Hell, nigga, I'm the one that sent her home, nigga.
Right.
Nigga, see, people look at Cassie now. When Cassie was younger and print modeling, there was nobody more beautiful than this broad.
She's still beautiful.
No, but listen, she's different now. Because she's older, she's seasoned. I'm talking about when she was 18 years old, 19 years old, nobody in person looked like this girl. She was different, nigga.
Listen, when I saw her around Ryan, I thought, not only did I think she was beautiful, I thought she was
charismatic.
So sweet,
yes,
man.
charismatic.
I felt like RLS was the best for her production-wise. He found her.
They had a special connection.
There was something there.
Musically,
Yeah. So I also felt like that was something that, man, I wish I could have saw the outcome of those two if it had gone. And I think it changed Ryan, in my humble opinion.
He had been the same, man.
It hurt them both.
All of them.
It hurt nothing. I'm not even going to say it didn't hurt. It hurt Ryan and it hurt Cassie.
Because Ryan is that dude musically, we already know he's smart, but musically, if people ever hear some of the music that he's played and done in front of me, man, I literally, to this day, I'm like, that still hits some of these beats and different songs he wrote.
Yeah, his orchestration
is
just
I think the music industry could turn you off, especially when you somebody like him. It's like it turns you off, and if it's not gonna make you money, or if it's not benefiting your soul musically, it's not. He don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm at with it.
Again, I didn't see moral of the stories. I didn't see that.
I mean,
then, but in looking at, that's why I tell everybody, don't look on Instagram and envy nothing. You don't know what the fuck these people really be going through behind the scenes.
You ever had any real friction with Puff? Even like, cause
Puff, Puff is all business. So I learned, just to be honest with you, I learned that the problem that I did have with Puff, it was a business problem. It was my problem. I didn't understand. That's business, nigga. I'm such a fucking
personal,
nigga from the Bronx. That's just awesome. Everything is personal. When what Puff did was
always business,
strictly business.
Always
you mad
money.
at a nigga for being business savvy. So what happened was, me and Tariq had a beat that my man K&S discovered. It was Steely Dan's Black Cow. So we loop it up. We rhyming over it. We go to Rated R's house, and Rated R plays this loop. And we rhyme over it, and I'm like, yo, how you know about this loop? And it's Jadakiss on it, Styles P, Sheik, and Mace. He's like, oh, this is a new Lox record. What do you mean? We got a record off that. So we drop our shit real fast before they shit come out.
Undercut it. Okay.
Because once we realize, oh shit, they discovered this loop, we throw our shit out. Puff, the shit just start growing legs. Now, we throw the shit out on some like, when I wrote Uptown the Hook, it was strictly because in the tunnel and the skate key and all that, they'd be like, Brooklyn, Harlem. I said, we need something. So when I say, if it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap shit probably never would be going on. Tell me when y'all go uptown, nigga. Uptown. That was our little anthem. So when we went in the studio and started recording the song, we didn't think nothing of it. It was just to big the Bronx up because Brooklyn got all the rappers, Queens got all the rappers. Staten Island now is popping, Harlem is popping. So this gonna be our anthem. We didn't think a hit. The hook is 16 bars. It's about New York and the Bronx. Our verses is 20 some odd bars. Just a throwaway. Shit grew legs, which made every label start a bidding war. Which made Puff then call Steely Dan and say, we're not using that sample no more. So now Steely Dan is mad because they thought they was gonna make a ton of money off the Bad Boy because Puff is popping. And then Puff started calling around like to people like Flex, like, don't play that shit.
Don't play your record?
Yeah, don't play that shit.
He told, Puff told Flex, don't play your shit. Wow.
That's what he said. Flex, hopefully you could remember this. But he was like he was not just Flex, a bunch of DJs pulled back on that. We got something off that. But he was no stopping this shit. This wasn't an industry record. This was something that came from the streets that just blew up.
Yeah.
So I started taking that personal. Then they started coming back saying, yo, the Locks ain't happy over there. He's telling niggas what they gotta wear. And I was already a fan of the Locks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they from Yonkers. They used to, when I used to see Kiss and Swiss and them, they'd be like gun runners. The gold tape guns, the gold tape. To this day, Kiss is like, I need a gold tape. We was in a group called Gun Runners, and they know about the Gun Runners. So when we recorded Cross Bronx Expressway, my verse on that song was at Puff. So if you go back to Cross Bronx Expressway on me and Tariq's album, Make It Rain, that verse was for Puff.
What were some of the bars you were saying? If you
Shit, man, I had a dream that a team had a scheme, some shit. But I would say I got beef with this nigga with chips and shit, hits and shit, going around here switching shit, telling niggas don't play that, you gotta play this. You know what I mean? And then I was saying, you telling niggas what to wear. I was talking about the Locks.
Yeah.
Telling you can't wear that, you gotta wear this. So I was channeling their frustration and my frustration and went at Puff. And then when I meet Puff years later when he's trying to sign my son, he was like, nigga, you really took, you know, his thing is how you take something like that personal. That's business, nigga.
Because he's going to come right back to you and try to
And he had a million hits after that. So it's like, never,
like that.
if you in position to stop a record, when you got that same record, what you going to do? And I was like, stop it.
They gonna
and
stop
that's when you start learning little things.
It's about
that,
business.
Yo, you can't take this shit personal. Sometimes shit is just business. But back then, you young, you ignorant. What nigga said don't play my record? You know what I mean? You get on that type of time.
How'd you get?
And then we had a bunch of goons around us. Because people be like, yo, niggas never played or said your name of this and that. We was surrounded by sex, money, murder. So niggas never really fucking played with us because it wasn't because, we scared of Peter, guns. It was the energy behind us. They knew it could go left.
Why the feds still infatuated with sex, money, murder? Like, is it because they get the credit for bringing the Bloods? I mean, it's so many fractured stories.
Yeah, it could be so. It's so many reasons. That you can't.
Mad criminals.
Some of it
Pistol
is
Pete.
Mad criminals.
Some of it is you don't want to
say on TV.
New York don't want a Chicago or LA problem.
They don't.
You know what I mean? You don't want to have this kind of gang. I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, man,
because they just
I
jammed
had a
up
bulletproof shield around. It's called Bulletproof Love. I never blooded in. People to this day be like, Gunz, you was blood earlier. You came home early. I didn't. They put a bulletproof shield around me, man. Like, yo, you don't have to blood in. It's bulletproof love. You don't have nothing to worry about. We got you. And so I never, and I'm from 174th, not Soundview, but they always had that. And I got a underlying love from that people will never understand because I know that a lot of niggas would have tried to play with me if not for them. So I got an underlying love for sex, money, murder niggas that people will never, the real ones, not the rats, the real sex, money, murder niggas.
How'd you get Wayne off Def Jam?
No, how you get Cory off
Cory, pardon me. How'd you get your son off it?
Jay-Z, man. Shout out to Jay-Z and shout out to Jay Brown. I went to Def Jam one time to have a meeting with Jay-Z because things wasn't moving the way they should. And I was expressing my frustration to Guru, and Guru was like, I'm going to set you a meeting with Hov. So I'm doing the best I could do, Gunz. I'm playing all his music in the meetings, and these niggas don't get it. Cory, if Cory came out in my era, he would smash everything. Cory would be a superstar. He came out in the era where niggas started mumbling and garbage was the way to be. I'm keeping it a buck. Niggas say anything and be a hit. Cory was too complicated for his generation. But he was raised on Redman, Method Man, Rakim, Kane.
Of course.
LL, fucking Jay-Z, Nas. He was raised on rappers, Eminem. So when you take a kid like that that's so advanced, even when I met with Puff said, I want to sign him. I want him, but I'm going to hold him till he's 18. But nigga 16, nigga, we need this now. But Puff wanted to sign him and hold him till he's 18. We go over to Jay-Z and them, they trying to figure it out too because it's complicated. So I got to the point where I called Hov up and I was like, yo, bro, it's my son. It's so hard to manage your son. That's why I don't manage him now. Because when a nigga is not doing what they got to do and it's an artist that you just managing, it's different from when the shit be in your flesh or your blood and he frustrated, he looking sad, things ain't going right. You didn't want to fucking do something. You know what I mean? So it was so personal with me with Cory that's my son. I can't listen to niggas tell me what he need to do. Put the shit out. So I told Guru, set up a meeting with Jay. I'm coming to the office. When I got to meet with Jay, it's a line of niggas to meet with Jay. Even what's the Young Gun niggas? Chris and Neef.
Chris and Neef, yes.
They was there. They was sitting in Guru office. I went to Guru office. Everybody's waiting. It's like the Godfather, the movie Godfather. Niggas waiting for their turn. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is going on here? Mm-hmm. So even them niggas was frustrated. Like, I think they came to out, yo, man, I don't know them. That's the only time I ever met them, but I feel like they was there to get a couple dollars or some money, one of them. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't even, it was just like, yo, they was kind of some frustrated from what I seen. So I went, his niggas that's on his label that been around him, if they not getting the attention and love and what they think they supposed to get, how the fuck Cory gonna get that? So I went from trying to go and figure out how we could go next level with Cory here to just let us go. I'll walk him into another deal somewhere else. So when I get in Jay's office, they call me in immediately. I leave Guru office, go and sit with Jay. Jay said, Gunz, man, I hate this job. Everybody think it's magical. Like, since I got the job, they think it's, the prisoners then took over the building. So I'm out of here. What you want to do? What you want to do? He said, matter of fact, don't even say it in this office. Meet me in CeeLo. CeeLo in the meat packing next to STK.
Cielo.
Meet me in CeeLo. Let's talk there. I don't even want to talk here. And we go there. We sat there. We at the bar drinking. He said, what you want to do? I said, we want to leave. He said, okay. I'll call Jay Brown. He said, Gun, it's cold out there. So this one he revealed to me, I'm leaving. Can't take it no more. Niggas thought because I got the job, I was going to be able to, and he did his thing. He got Rihanna, Neo, all these things. But it's still, you got niggas coming up.
Yeah.
Complain. You had X was mad at him. DMX was mad at him. So everybody was mad at him because they didn't feel like he came in the building. But with me, I got to be honest with you. He said, it's cold out there. Keep this deal. Try to turn him up. Get him hot in the building. I said, you leaving? He said, yeah. I said, if you leaving, we leaving. He said, what you want? Give us the rest of the budget that's left. The money that's left over, and let us continue to use the studio until you leave. Done. Call Jay Brown in the morning, and that's what happened.
Yo, Gunz, I could talk to you all day. You got anything left you want to say?
Man, I just want to know about your resiliency, because it's been a lot of social media stuff and we can identify with people coming at us, people still coming at us about bullshit. What's your key of dealing with all the backlash and all the shit that be happening even when you know it's not true?
I have to care about you to care about that is my new. And this is new, bro. When I first did Love and Hip Hop and the world was going crazy on me, I was arguing with arbitrary people and doing shit like that. And I had to go think to myself, did you ever really go in somebody's comments and say something to them that you didn't like? No. Did you ever follow anybody that you didn't like? Would you ever speak on anybody you didn't know like that and talk shit about them? So what type of niggas is you arguing with? I had to argue with myself. Gunz, what are you doing? I have to love you and respect you. There's certain people that can say something about me that I'm going to respond to. There's certain people that can challenge me that I'm going to respond to and show you I'm a man. There's no ghetto thug in me. I'm from the Bronx here and all that. Not a thug. I'm just a man. I'm not having it. Not on some thug shit, just on some man shit. I'm not going to be played with. Just on some man shit. I never proclaim to be no fucking thug. I mean, people be like, yo, Gunz, you always remind niggas you ain't no thug, because I'm not.
I always remind niggas, too, I'm not no thug neither. I be like, I'm not no street nigga, I'm not no this.
Fuck around and find out. Yeah. I'm still the man.
Because people get it twisted, but I don't personify street shit because the streets wasn't kind to me.
Nah, nigga. But listen, the niggas around me do. I can't hold you.
I know the niggas around me do, too.
The closest people to me are fucking that.
Street
and
niggas,
I'm trying
but
to
they be
hold
mad.
them.
But they be mad at me because I be like, yo, I be telling them, I be like, the street niggas be mad at me like, yo, Ran, how the fuck you of all people? Because, nigga, I learned. Y'all niggas ain't what y'all say y'all are. Snitching was invented by street niggas.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So when you grow up and you realize, like, damn, my nigga, like, all of this didn't mean what I thought it meant.
Right.
There isn't no real code. Street niggas see shit on a slant, nigga. They fuck your girl. It's cool. I'm a street nigga. Right. You fuck their girl, they want to kill you. It's sex, money, 100%. Murder. You know what I'm saying? So once you realize that you dealing with that type of fucking mentality, It's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You have to ignore them niggas, man. You gotta find let me tell you something, it's a full-time job trying to ignore these niggas.
Yep.
But you have to, or you'll find yourself. I don't read comments. I know I'm gonna be 18,000 clowns, 18,000 caps. Oh, this nigga's a bullshit artist. This nigga's this and that. I know I'm gonna be that. Mm-hmm. But who I'm arguing, because the niggas I know
what's up.
Pistol Pete's, Gangsta Lou's, the niggas I came up with, that's about that Born, Ski, the people I grew up that's about that shit, they not even on social media, let alone in your fucking comments. You know what I mean? And you know, shout out to all my niggas, man. KT, everybody, Soundview, 174th. The niggas I know, they don't really like fucking with social media like that. But more than that, they not gonna be in your comments. They'll be in your they'll be in your backyard.
No, they gonna be in your face.
They gonna be in your backyard.
Yeah,
this is my last question. Yeah. Because I know we gotta do shit with it. Why is Soundview, Castle Hill section, Vaz Avenue, why is it all? It's been rugged since being rugged was invented. Yeah. Why? What's up with that section of New York City? And I'm saying this because it's so rough up there still. Yeah. They don't even talk about it no more. It's not even a discussion anymore. Niggas know what time it is.
It's just a cycle, bro. Like niggas, uncles, parents, grandparents, just passing it down. At some point, the shit got to change, and I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of not trying to fucking change this cycle. It's a cycle. We just passing down hate, passing down beef. If a nigga killed your moms or your pops or your brother or your sister, your cousin, your right-hand man, the beef goes from us to y'all. So now I hate you for what my father did to you, for what your grandfather or your father did to my people or your uncle did to my. It's at some point, niggas got to find a way to just piece up, but there's no help in that. When you even got the actual radio and the media and social media allowing these kids to talk about what they did, and it's real, and it's real and it's glorified. Like, nigga, I smoked that nigga, and we smoking on his pack right now. Nigga, 15, 16 years old, we smoking on his pack. No other ethnicity would allow that. But because it's us, they let it fly, my nigga. They let it fly, and I'm guilty.
We're guilty
of it too.
We big that up.
I'm not trying to sit and throw stones at the kids.
I don't big that shit up.
No,
you know what I mean is,
I'm not.
There's in ways it's subtle. Where people are like, oh, he a real nigga.
But listen, that's real shit. If I go to a kid and be like, man, that shit y'all rapping about, and be like, man, shut the fuck up. You said Peter got a 9mm. Player haters can feel that flame from your heater, but you telling me when I should be saying.
Because I was younger, my nigga.
Not just that, my shit was fiction. That was a lot of that shit was fiction. A lot of that is me.
It was a lot of me just rhyming.
Yeah, I got a gun charge. Yeah, I was locked up. Yeah, but I also go to Rikers Island and talk to the kids all day. I'm telling you, shit was stupid. I'm trying to switch the flow up. However, it's still influence. You know, there was some sort of influence there. So, but the bottom line, the answer to your question is just hereditary, nigga. They inheriting our fucking problems, and we letting that happen.
We just passing
some point, some nigga got to be like, you know, it's bad. Listen, when I go to the hood, I know I'm old because they calling Cory OG. Like, yo, this nigga OG.
BagFuel, baby.
Fuck am I?
BagFuel, yo.
And I don't even know these dudes.
Yo, shout to the Bronx. Shout to Soundview. Real talk. Shout to Castle Hill. Shout to Vice Avenue.
174.
Where my sisters was at.
Hello.
Where Peter Gunz was at.
Cold Crush and all them was
also
at.
Shout
where hip-hop started at.
Shout to Park Chester. Not all that. Shout to the South Bronx.
Yeah. I used to be on Colgate Ave a lot.
All right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout to the South Bronx. Shout to all of New York City because I am a Queens dude and I do salute Southside Jamaica, Queens, but I also went to school uptown at Randolph. So I've been exposed to the Bronx and Manhattan and Brooklyn from a young age. From 13 years old, I started school uptown. So I just want to shout y'all out, say it's always love. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to Peter Gunz for always making time to come and sit and spit some real shit. We called him last minute.
Yeah, I'm here,
and he still showed up. We bought him a nice bottle of
that's
scotch,
why I showed up too.
Because he's a real nigga. And yo, love always. Shout out to Cory Gunz. Is my younger brother forever for life.
BagFuel, baby.
And we out of here.
You already know.